welcome to DDL, where we discuss everyday topics like current events and or controversial points of view. This is No, I'm Void. First things first, shout out to our sponsor, Candle Time. Head over to the link in the description to purchase a candle today.
Do you want to tell them about the issues we had this morning?
Yeah, go ahead. I'll let you tell them that first.
You want to do that?
What, the shit we had to do this morning?
Yeah.
The computer went down.
Yeah, our computer
and
went
you
down.
had to pull
I had to pull a backup computer
a
out.
fucking miracle out of your ass.
And had to get everything reset up, and then we didn't have half the videos because they're all on the other computer.
Oh no!
So we had to record the intro talk and the outro talk,
Reprogram it.
And luckily, your son had sent over the original via email, so I was able to download that. So that's why the intro vid is wrong, and we don't even have an outro vid. We're reusing the intro vid, so we're gonna get this fixed. But yeah, that took us like an hour.
Something like that, yeah.
Yeah, we were trying to get our recording done, and we ended up wasting all of our morning basically getting this reset up. Yeah. So go ahead and kick us off, man.
All right. So first things first, we'll introduce our guests. We just name.
Hold on.
What?
What is the name of our segment going to be called? We discussed this. Is it going to be Feminist Fight Fridays?
Oh, yeah. Feminist Fight Fridays. I don't know. Anyways, what's your guys' name, occupation, age, and relationship status?
My name is Tyra. I am a nurse, but I supervise other people who take care of others. I'm 24 years old. My relationship status is very complicated, but that's about sums me up.
I'm Brittany. I'm 34. I groom dogs full-time and tattoo part-time, and I am single. Just dating.
Fair.
Yeah.
All right. Do you want to just jump right into topic one?
Yeah.
All right.
You're running this, bud.
I'm asking for clarification, asshole.
Down there.
All right. So we'd first like to discuss role expectations between a man and a woman. What do you think a man expects in a relationship?
I think men expect too much. I think that I'm just being honest here.
Yeah,
men expect too much?
Yeah, I do believe men expect too much because we're not in the past times like we were, back when the women stayed home, took care of the kids, and the men stayed home, okay? Or the men worked, sorry. So I think men expect too much because now us women not only take care of the kids, take care of the house, work, and take care of them, but we have all these other responsibilities, and that's just the standard that men want. They want the cherry on top too, like massages and a warm dinner when they come home and a clean house after I just got off a long days of work as well with kids.
Should we hold our responses?
Yeah. We'll
okay,
wait.
let's go. Let's go ahead.
I mean, I agree a little bit. I feel like, as like a stay-at-home mom, they have certain things that are expected of them.
Right.
And like, if the man's gone at work all day, then those things should be done, you know?
Yeah, I agree.
But if the mom is working, it should be like a 50-50 split responsibility.
Yep.
Yeah. But that's really, I'm pretty old school. I'm like, the men work, the wives take care of the kids. But like, I'm single, I don't have kids. So in my, I guess, opinion of roles without kids and stuff involved, it would be like guys expect us to be like look a certain way and stuff and be soft and like feminine, but when they're not being like masculine and giving us that kind of stuff, we can't be as feminine as we want to be. So
Right.
we like,
and
when we have to work
take that
and
masculine
stuff.
role, they're like, wait, now I don't want to be with you
Yeah.
because you're too much.
Yep.
You're hard to handle.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
You want to jump on this one first?
Well, honestly, everything that you pretty much said is all I expect from my wife. She stays home. She cooks and cleans and takes care of the kids.
But you are more traditional.
Yeah, but
Right.
not because
But
she
she's a
has to.
stay-at-home
Yeah,
mom.
she's a stay-at-home mom.
Right.
That's. I mean, I do most of the. It's cooking's 50-50 whenever I have time when I'm not working or whatnot. But we both 50-50 with the kids and all like everything like that. But I pay all the bills and everything. But that's all I have to say.
Oh wow. Okay,
Yeah,
so
this
it's going to
is
be on
on
me.
you.
This is going to be on me. Okay. Well, so I'm not going to totally disagree with what you're saying. Modern men are weak. Modern men have become feminized. The feminist movement has definitely castrated a lot of men where they no longer put in the effort to actually go out and better themselves, where they will actually go and attract a mate that wants to be the feminine submissive type. Men do expect femininity. They expect submissiveness. That is what they're looking for. That is what the biological attraction trigger is for men. However, as you pointed out, in our day and age, it is extremely hard to find a man that is actually going to be able to do that. And I guess where I'm going with this is men want the traditional role. So I can't necessarily say I disagree with you that men expect too much when you're looking at it through the lens of they're wanting a traditional relationship. What men, I think, have failed to do is live up to the expectation where they can actually provide to get the traditional relationship. With that being said, as women have taken on more of a masculine role, I don't believe they understand that they have actually excised themselves from a lot of the dating market as well. So there's nothing wrong with chasing a bag or trying to make money or trying to do any of that stuff. That's great. But what ends up coming along with that is the masculine tendencies, which are not attraction triggers for men. That's actually a disattraction, where you will have limited the amount of people that would do with it. You're actually setting yourself up to deal with a lower status or a lower tiered man by having those traits internally.
I don't necessarily agree with that, though. So for me personally, I think in today's day and age, dual income is very important because it's very hard to survive on one income in this economy. Let's
don't
be honest
disagree.
here. But I don't agree with you saying that men don't like women who can take on like a stronger role. Personally, for me, I feel like it's more attractive that a woman has the drive to, one, get her own career, get her own money, take care of herself, because a lot of women, not even just women and men in today's age, just expect someone to take care of them. Mm-hmm. So the fact that someone is willing to take care of themselves, chase dreams for themselves, do things for themselves, I think is a good quality and trait to have.
I didn't say having that aspect would be bad. What I said is having the masculine traits that come along with it is bad. Right. So there's a balance that you would have to find.
Right.
If you prioritize making money over your relationship, you have excised yourself from the relationship. Men will prioritize making money because men prioritize providing for the people that they care about, providing for the women that they're dating, providing for their children, whatever it is. Men are providers. So men, that is a masculine trait that women do find attractive. Mm-hmm. They're
in older men.
Men
my age.
I was going to say, is there some sort of a generational issue there?
Yeah. Well, you're kind of, 100%. This is going a little bit off topic, but I guess let's ask this question. How should there be an age difference between a woman and a man?
Yes.
How much?
It's a good question.
I like a good 6-7 years, to be honest.
Okay.
I don't know. I've dated younger and it's more fun, but also the maturity level is a lot different. So older is easier.
And I get that because like in my 30s, people my age is fun, but people who are older, it's stable.
More responsible.
It's stable.
Okay. Void. You think a man should be older than a woman?
Yeah.
By how much?
I'm 8 years older than my wife, so
okay.
No more than 10 years though.
Okay.
And that's just I don't have a reason per se. It's just that just seems like an adequate amount of time.
Maturity level.
Yeah, exactly. A man's more mature. He's there. He's actually there to take care of business, take care of his family, go to work, provide. Be the protector and all the traditional roles. I'm a traditional kind of guy, so.
Well, I think most men are traditional in a lot of respects.
I think a lot of men think they are.
I think a lot of men desire to be.
Aren't. Exactly.
They desire to be, but in our society today, like I said, they have been feminized.
Exactly.
So they don't know how to be, which is one reason I think Jordan Peterson's so popular.
Yeah.
Is just the clean your room is very important. It's that thing. So my answer to this is yes. I think a man should be older, and I think it should be somewhere between 4 and 16 years.
Damn, 16. That's pretty big numbers.
So that's kind of my age range where I think I don't think women should be dating anyone that is their same age. 2 years is pushing it. I would recommend not doing that. And the reasoning why is, right, men really hit their peak when they're entering their 30s. That's when they've gained enough knowledge and skill. That's when they're starting to become more financially stable, right? So men hit their peak, or not hit their peak, and start entering their peak around 30, and they really don't lose their peak until they die, until they retire, basically. Whereas women, and this is from a viewpoint of the sexual marketplace, the dating marketplace, which is women hit their peak somewhere between the ages of about 18 to 22. And then by the time you're 28, if you haven't found a man, you're probably not going to get the man you think you need.
It's harder for them to find.
It's way harder, and that's just because of the biological attraction triggers. It goes all the way back to that.
Well, that's primal.
So if you're a 25-year-old, I would recommend that you're dating somewhere between 35 and 40.
Fair.
There. Okay.
All right. Well, that shut her down. Yeah. All right. The second thing we decided to talk about is cam modeling.
Well, hold on. We didn't do the vice versa now. We did the role aspect.
That was what we were talking about. Because I mentioned what I want.
Oh, yeah? I guess I didn't. But that's okay. Let's move on to the second topic. That's
okay.
fine.
You're throwing me off, man.
Apologies.
All right. Cam modeling, whether or not it's a viable way to make a living, and what ramifications could that have in a relationship?
Cam modeling, OnlyFans, any type of showing yourself off on the interweb. I see pros and cons to it. When I was younger, I saw all the pros to it. I thought it was easy money. I thought that it was male validation, female validation even. But then now that I'm older, I see a little bit of the cons.
Can I interrupt you? Yeah. I like that word that you used, the male validation and the female validation. Mm-hmm. I think that's the reason why a lot of women get into that is because they're looking for that validation. They want attention. They want that attention.
Yeah.
And I want to, if I forget to go back to it, please remind me, but I want to go back to that. So Go ahead and finish. Sorry.
And the cons that I see to it now are, one, I am a mom, so thinking about my body being on the web and possibly coming back up to the surface someday, I really don't want my kids to see something like that. But also just back to that attention and validation. Now that I'm older, I don't seek that validation from men and or women or people in general.
Can I ask a specific question? Mm-hmm. Do you seek that from a specific man though?
I want it from that one person.
You want it from your person?
Yeah, from my person. That's it. Because, you know, I can go out and they can tell me like, oh, you're so beautiful, this and this. And of course I'll say thank you, but it doesn't
hit the same.
It doesn't hit the same. Like when my guy is like, hey, like you look really beautiful today, or I like the way you're wearing your hair, or I like how you have your mascara, it hits home. And when a random person does it, yeah, it feels nice, but at the same time, it's like, I'm not doing this for you. I'm taking care of me for me, and I'm taking care of myself for my kids and my man. So, like, it's not even to be rude. Like, yeah, I love to give compliments.
I wish my Stream Deck was working because I'd give that a fucking 100.
Yeah,
that was good. That was great.
But it's just, you know, the viewpoint. I'm a full, like, respect for people who want to do those things, you know, show off your body. If it brings you confidence, do it. Like, I'm not going to shut you down. Whatever you need to do to be happy in your life at that time, that's on you. But my standpoint now is kind of just take a step back and respect myself a little bit.
Well, that's great that you're doing that for yourself, but you just gave advice that if you wanted to do that.
Right.
However, if that's what makes them happy at this moment, well, what about their long-term happiness?
And that's the thing. Like, for me, that wasn't my long-term happiness, and I had to get real with myself and tell myself, hey, is this something that's really going to make you happy in the long term? Is this money and this attention, is this what's going to make you happy when you're 35 years old? It's not.
Yeah.
In my opinion.
Everybody's different, so it might actually make some other people happy, but in her situation specifically, it
and other people who maybe don't have kids.
But I'm going to argue it because I disagree with it. But
right, and there's people who don't have kids, they don't have other commitments and stuff, or this type of income is the kind of income that they like. This is the lifestyle that they like. That's great for them. But for me as a mother, I just don't see it as my sort of lifestyle.
Okay. Britt?
I really haven't ever been like super into like research on it or anything. I like noticed when OnlyFans popped off, I signed up and like kind of like tampered with the idea of doing it, and then I just didn't ever do it. And I don't know if it's a generational thing because I'm like 10 years older than her.
Mm-hmm.
And you know, we had like AOL dial-up chat rooms and stuff like that, and so we didn't have like
Remember that?
all that, you know, like I'm a Facebook generation. I don't even like Instagram. Shit. Like I have it, but I don't use it. So when it came out and I like did some like digging on it and read about it, it was like way more work than I was willing to do, just because I didn't need to, I guess. But
into the mic.
I mean, if you need it and you want the money and you are, like you said, a confident person and you're not doing it for the wrong reasons, then do it.
Right.
You know.
Okay. So before we go jump into Void's and my takes on this, I have one question for you. Do you think that a man wants a girl that he is dating to have had that in our past or is currently doing that?
In my personal experience, I have gotten both viewpoints on that. I have had a man straight up tell me, I will record for you. I will do what you want me to do. Yep. I will support you 100%.
Mm-hmm.
And then I got into a relationship with an older man. He's 31. And he was like, absolutely not. I won't support that. If you want to do that, that's purely on you. I'm not going to support you. I'm not going to watch you do it. I think it's distasteful. It's not respecting yourself.
Mm-hmm.
And it's not holding yourself to the standard of...
Is that the...
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So he's very much on the viewpoint of, hey, that's intimate time. Like, that's between you and me.
Mm-hmm.
That's not something to be shared, even if it's just feet pics.
Mm-hmm.
It's not something that should be on the web, because if I'm with you and you're with me, then it's just us.
Yeah. So
yeah.
Do you want this one or you want me to kick it off and you can follow up?
No, that's fine. I'll do it. Okay. No, that's 100% it. Men don't want somebody who's everybody's. They want their own access or ability to them. You know what I mean? Like their own exclusive content or whatever you want to call it. I know my wife has made jokes about it before, and it's just like she doesn't joke about it anymore because it's not something we even discuss. You know what I mean? We don't joke about it. That's between us, and that's it.
Fair. Okay, my topic,
yeah.
or my take on this. So, for one, I'm going to qualify my statement, which is, I've already said it before. If you want to chase the bag, you want to make the money, and you choose to do this, that is 100% on you. I'm not going to sit there and say that you're less of a human or you're not right or any of that. That's your choice. I'm going to respect you for having your choice. Mm-hmm. However, I will give you a warning, and that warning is if you actually want a stable, committed man, he will not take you seriously. He might fuck with you. He's going to entertain you just to have sexual access, but he's not going to take you serious. He's not going to make sure that you are happy for the long term.
Wife material.
Yeah. You have basically limited yourself to a very small pool of men that will wife you up. And even then, they're probably going to be way more likely to cheat on you because they don't view you as respectable. The second part of this is if you're doing cam modeling or feet pics or OnlyFans or whatever you're doing, and you're trying to have a relationship, not only are you disrespecting yourself by selling yourself, let's call it what it is, you are basically prostituting yourself online to other men. You are disrespecting yourself, but you are also disrespecting that relationship. The last thing that I would want to say is on this is I've liked your viewpoint on the validation of the man, right? In the confines of a relationship, the most important person that you should be looking for validation from is the person that you're dating.
Right.
And if you are looking elsewhere, if you're putting yourself online in order to get that validation, you need to figure out why you're wanting that validation. And if you were doing that, I think my stance is always going to be is if you're wanting to do all this, you need to be upfront and honest. If you were going to talk to other men on the side, if you're going to go out on dates with other men on the side, if you're going to do cam modeling, whatever it is, you need to be upfront and honest with your man, because your man has to have the ability to make that choice. If you sit there and lie and go behind the back, you are disrespecting yourself, you're disrespecting him, you're disrespecting your relationship. If you, men will put up with bullshit for a while. Men are not stupid. Men like to play stupid. Would you agree, Void?
Yeah.
We see things. We notice things.
Just
we
don't
notice
say
patterns.
anything.
We notice the lies. We notice the inconsistencies in the stories. We notice these things. We will play along for a while to see if we can make it work.
Yeah. We always try to make it work.
Because we're fixers. We want to try to make it work, especially if we care about you.
Yeah.
But at some point, if you continue down that path, if you continue doing it, and he might even bring it up to you from time to time in forms of questioning you on things like that. He's doing that because he knows what's going on, or he has a suspicion of what's going on. And if you don't stop doing it, he is eventually going to end the relationship.
And see, like, that's why talking with an older guy compared to someone who's the same age as me, for example, someone who's the same age as me, he never questioned me. He never challenged me. And when I started talking with someone who was 31 and I got into a relationship with them, they started questioning me. They started having me communicate. They started showing me that you cannot continue to act this way immature. You cannot act immature.
A true man is going to coach you in your relationship.
Right. And so they how he worded it to me was, if a man that you are with is just going to let you keep on the same behavior, he does not love you. A man who challenges you to be better and do better and to hold yourself accountable loves you. So just acknowledging that and acknowledging who you are, being truthful, communicating that goes a long ways. And I think that's what opened my viewpoint to, yes, you can go and do this with yourself if that's what you choose to do. But at the end of the day, if you want someone to truly love you and be committed fully to you, you can't be committing yourself to other people online.
Yep.
All these subscribers, all these people, because that's your focus. That's your attention.
You hear him? That's the dog. That's how he got his name.
Yeah, that's a good one.
So, you kind of brought up something interesting. And before we move, are we done with topic 2? Boyd?
Yeah, pretty much.
Okay, so
That's
before we move on to topic 3, priorities in a relationship. I'm throwing an audible. This is a 2.A, whatever. Priorities in a relationship. What do you think a man should prioritize in a relationship, and what do you think a woman should prioritize?
In what?
In the confines of a relationship. What do you think the number one priority should be to a woman? What do you think a man think? Do it from what do you think your priority is, and what do you think a man's priority is?
So
viewpoint.
For me personally, I think men's priorities should be one, making his person feel validated and given that attention so that they don't feel that they have to go elsewhere.
I want to highlight a fact here. This is something that women love attention, right? That is one of the biggest things that women like. So the simple fact that that's your priority number one, that I think that's spot on.
That's the thing.
It's woman nature.
Because if I don't feel like I have that from my guy, then what's the point?
Okay.
Because
do you think men want attention?
Oh, absolutely.
But do you think we want attention from everyone, or do we seek it for specific people?
You guys want it from your specific people. I noticed that a lot of single men want a lot of attention, obviously, but when they're in relationships, they want you to, how's your day? How was your day today? How was work? You had a stressful day. Let's talk about it.
If you're flying home, hey, did you make it? How was your flight? Did you make it home safe?
Communication,
that kind of
not overbearing them, because let me tell you, sending paragraphs to men just doesn't work.
No.
No, keep it simple.
But at the same time, if it's a one word or if it's like just really short, men also get really frustrated with that.
You have to find that sweet spot.
Because texting is great in this day and age. However, when you're in a relationship, that form of communication is so archaic. You can't get the emotional context that you need out of it. Yep. You can't. The context is not there. That's why, I'm a little bit older. I like to talk on the phone because I can hear the emotion in the voice. Right. Yeah. You text me and you I think it was you. I was texting you and I said, Kay, you called me.
I was like, why are you mad?
Yeah.
Why are you texting me, Kay?
He did Kay to me too.
But no, see, that's the thing. Like I had to learn that. For me, because I am younger, I personally text all the time. I am a huge texter, and I had to come to the realization that spilling my feelings out over text was not it. No. So I had to learn to, hey, these are the topic points that I want to talk about, but we can talk about them in person or over the phone.
Yep.
Because that's where it's going to get the actual communication.
Yep.
And another thing is like not raising my voice. So another thing that is a priority.
If you raise your voice, especially if you're in a fight with your man, he's going to take that as an act of a challenge.
Aggression.
Right.
You're challenging his authority.
Right.
And he is no longer going to listen to you, and he's no longer going to actually have an open communication with you.
Absolutely. And then another thing that I have come to learn about like priorities in a relationship is respect. A big thing that I feel my generation lacks is respect. And to be completely honest,
it's hard. I will say this: it is hard dating as a man in your 30s, with this day and age, because I hate to say it, but I'm going to say it exactly like this: women today are worth about 1/10 of the value that it was back when my grandma was alive, right? And we have to put in about 100 times more effort in order to attract a woman.
Right.
You know what? I'm sorry. We're gonna go. Let's go ahead and get yours. What do you think a man prioritizes in a relationship?
I think the man should prioritize communication, basically the same kind, just validation and communication, so that we're not left wondering if we've upset you that day. That's or just simple stuff. And for women, I think transparency. We need to be more transparent with them about what we expect as far as like how they communicate, instead of just not saying anything and bringing it up and getting mad when they go 6 hours without texting me. So like if you want them to be consistent, tell them that I need consistency, like be transparent about your expectations with whatever you expect them to do.
And I know why you're bringing that one up. I love it. Good job.
Good job. Said, good job.
Well, well, we know each other,
I know,
right?
I
so
know.
I mean,
it was just the high five that got me.
What? You got to give her a high five because I know exactly what it is. So let's go ahead. What do you think a man expects in a relationship? Or not what you think. What do you expect in a relationship, Void?
The only thing I expect that, if I'm doing all the work, all right, fixing around the house and everything like that, I just expect my person to pick up the slack in the areas that I lack. Like, I'm not a really good cook, so can you help me out cook?
Yep.
I don't do the laundry right, apparently. Can you do the laundry? Can you just, the kids is 100-100. It's both of us all the time.
So you basically just nailed it. I think you nailed it. And I'm going to simplify it if you don't mind.
Go right ahead, man.
So what you basically said is what you look for in a relationship is for your queen to step in and recognize your weaknesses and fill your gaps.
Yep.
100%. I 100% agree with that.
Yeah, that's the only way you're going to improve.
Yep. Yeah. I will let you guys know exactly what men look for, what they want in a relationship, and that is respect.
Yeah.
That's the easiest way to boil it down. So, like I said, men will coach you in a relationship. They're going to tell you, hey, the communication needs to get better, right? The one thing that I've always maintained, and I will always maintain probably until the day I die, is men are like mirrors. Okay, if you're giving him the respect, you're listening, you're doing the things that he's hoping that to get out of the relationship, he's going to put the same amount of energy back into you. So if you're wanting to start a business, let's say you want to open a spa, and you're stepping in and filling the gaps, like Void said, and what he's going to do is, hey, you're helping me be successful. He's going to turn around and put that same energy back into you to make sure your spa is successful.
Yep.
Or whatever project you're working on, whether that be an online store, whether that be renting out apartments, or whether that be whatever it is. He is going to put in that same amount of effort. And because that is how men show that they care about you. But if you don't listen, and I hate to say the word listen because it makes it sound like it's a command, but in all reality, if you're looking at it like this, if you're listening to what he's trying to coach you and how he's saying, hey, communication needs to be better, or hey, you shouldn't be doing OnlyFans, or hey, you shouldn't be doing this. If you're respecting him in the relationship of what he wants. Oh.
Camera died.
No, it just disconnected for a second.
Oh. Is it back?
Oh, give me 2 seconds, guys.
Sorry.
Give me 2 seconds. Sorry. What happened? We're having technical difficulties today, bud.
Yeah, no shit.
You guys can talk amongst yourselves.
We don't have any topics to talk about.
Dude, this battery is hot as hell.
It's hot as shit in here. I am
Yeah.
sweating like a mother.
It just feels like
Clammy.
yeah,
Like
clammy.
humid.
Yeah.
Well, it is.
Yeah.
Like
I mean,
like
it's humid as
deodorant
hell.
on.
Yeah, it is.
So,
Like,
okay.
and my bangs are getting like
Okay,
wet.
we got the
underneath.
camera fixed. Hey guys, just in case you're interested, Void and I are wearing we're wearing the DDL shirts. Check us out on the merch store. The link's in the description. Okay. Where was I at? Because I was talking, wasn't I?
Respecting your man.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, respecting your man. If you're respecting him and doing that, he is going to put in 100% effort back into what your goals and everything are. Men really are. So think of a relationship like a chessboard, right? You have a king and a queen. Now, the object of the game is to checkmate the king, to destroy the king, right? But what's the most important part on a chessboard?
The queen.
The queen is the most important part. Men recognize that the value of their queen is needed. It is absolutely 100%. A king will never. It is extremely hard for a king to do and win the game without a queen on the board.
Can I ask you something for a 2-point B?
Sure.
Okay. So, how many chances do you think a man should give a younger woman? Because you're talking about a age difference here.
Yep.
The maturity level is different.
Yes.
How much time or chances do you think he should be able to do if she's showing true signs of changing and improving herself?
Well, that's the thing, is that if she's showing signs of improving
He'll
and
keep
getting
going.
better, this is the thing. Words only mean so much. It's the actions that are important, right? So you can say, oh, I'm this, and this, whatever. If you're not showing those actions to back that up, you're probably got about a 6-month to a 1-year window to actually start showing signs of improvement. If you don't, then
2
you're
years
probably
max.
yeah, 2 years max. But eventually, a man's going to get sick of it, right? Especially a higher tier, a higher quality man is going to get sick of it a lot faster than a lower one. If you decide that, this is kind of why I was asking about the priority question, right? So if you prioritize going out and having fun or the experiences or whatever, going to the club, rather than doing the things you should be doing inside the relationship, if you prioritize going out and having fun with friends or entertaining men on the side or doing OnlyFans or whatever, if you're doing all that, you prioritize that over your relationship, you've signaled to the man that you don't care about the relationship, and he has put you on a clock. He might string you along, he might do this or whatever just for sexual access, but he is eventually, if you have not made improvements, he is eventually going to kick you to the curb. So one thing that I've always, we've talked about this without girls on the show before, which is sexual access for men is extremely hard.
Yeah.
It is hard for men to attract a woman. It is much easier for women to attract men. Would you guys agree?
Yes.
Yeah.
Right? Because men have to have status. They have to have built themselves up.
There's a checklist.
There is a huge checklist that men have to hit to attract a woman. Whereas a woman really has access to pretty much anything. A woman can walk into a club just for looking cute. She doesn't have to have any skills, doesn't have to have anything. She can get by with a lot of, and I think this is what inflates women a lot in our day and age, is they think that they have a lot just because they're cute. When in all reality, that's going to fade.
Looks aren't everything.
No, looks are not everything.
And they fade.
No. Yes, looks are going to open the door for you, and it's going to get you a lot of places, but most of the time, it's just because men want sexual access, right? Whereas men, we have to hit all these check marks, these check boxes in order to even get a date. And then even if we're on that date and we come looking like a scrub or something messed up, one little thing, you guys might never even, grant us access to get back to the bed, right? So there's a bunch of things that men have to do which is why it's so important for women. I think that this is one thing that women don't understand in this day and age is a man really truly only is looking for respect from you, and that respect comes in the form of, hey, don't do OnlyFans, don't do cam modeling, don't do feet pics, don't talk to other men online, communicate, stuff like that. And as long as you do that, I think, would you?
No, I was just in my head. I was like, I can't even believe feet pics is a thing. That's all I was.
Oh, you would not
Oh,
believe
yeah.
God,
that
that's
are out
disgusting.
there.
Yeah, there's some crazy
There's some
feet stuff.
weird stuff.
Yeah.
There's some weird stuff.
Yeah. Well, I think that's the other thing with cam modeling that irritates the crap out of me is the simple fact that men are gross. Like, Void, would you agree? There are some creepy ass.
There's
men
some
out
weird motherfuckers out there.
They're going to ask you to freaking. I'm going to tell a story because I'm sorry. I'm going to tell a story real quick so I used to know the stripper that worked up in Boise.
Oh,
I think I told you this story. Did I?
I think so.
Anyway, she had this guy that came in I think it was every Thursday or every Friday night, and he would pay her $1,000 a week for her to have a strictly vegetarian diet.
I don't even want to hear the rest of this.
And then the morning before he would come into the strip club, she would shit in a Ziploc bag.
Gross.
And bring it to him.
That's fucking disturbing.
And while giving him a lap dance, he would open the bag and smell her shit.
What?
So I'm telling you, men are fucking disgusting.
Yeah.
There are men that are disgusting. So where I'm going with this is the simple fact that if you're in a relationship and you put yourself in beat pic, OnlyFans, cam modeling, whatever it is, you're going to be dealing with creepy ass men that are going to be asking you to do things. If your man is okay with you getting disrespected like that online, your man does not care about you.
Yeah.
Break up with him.
Yeah.
Yep.
Fair. Nasty, dude.
That is
I know a lot of people, bro.
I can tell you
Some
some
weird
stories
requests.
that you would.
Yeah.
Yeah.
See,
I stay at home.
I'm just telling a
Pregnancy
third party. They probably have first person.
Oh, I
yeah.
have first.
I've
heard of that one, though.
Yeah.
I have a
Pregnancy
few.
bellies. They want to try
yeah.
breast milk, mashed
That-
potatoes with your feet, and Puerto Arabian.
Yep.
God,
I can tell you some stuff.
Yep.
Men, this is for you. Stop being disgusting.
We think you're weird. We just play nice.
Very well said. All right. Moving
Act
on.
like we don't know.
The third thing we would like to talk about is what's acceptable, in your opinion, in the confines of a relationship, from your guys' point of view.
And the purpose of this question is to tie the two topics,
Yeah.
the main topics that we talked about. What do you think the roles in a relationship? What do you think is acceptable? What do you think is that your man would accept, and what do you think is acceptable from your man?
So for me personally, I view it as old school. I look as a man as like a provider and a protector. I think that's just kind of how I was raised, though. So for me, I guess I just look for stability, protection, and like a safe haven.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like in my generation specifically, and people who are my age, everything is very unstable and uncertain.
Mm-hmm.
Social media has made things that way.
You brought up a huge point right there, social media.
Yep.
Yeah.
Women, because they seek attention, are much more prone to be on social media than men.
Right.
And one thing that I've noticed with that comes into play is that they don't understand reality. Right, women do not live in reality the same way as men live in reality, right? And that's usually because, like, let's say you're homeless as a woman, you are much more likely to get a hand,
Right.
than a man.
Absolutely.
A man is going to get kicked to the curb, and no one's going to give crap, because to men, you should be working on bettering yourself. You
Right.
need to do it yourself. As a woman, men will look at that and be like, no. Let's
Not
help
only
you
that,
out.
but women are master manipulators.
Oh, yeah, 100%.
That's just the reality of it. Women know how to use their looks and their words and their actions to get what they want. Men have a little bit harder of a time doing that unless it's
That's interesting.
a weird
I'm pretty sure
situation.
someone told me that on the phone like a week ago.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So for me, it's just stability, protection, feeling safe, not feeling like I have to question what's the next day hold. Are we going to be good? Are we going to be bad? Is there going to be a girl on your phone? I personally don't do social media. Guy I'm with, he doesn't do social media. I think it's just easier for us that way. But
it's also really hard in a relationship for a man to say, hey, I don't want you to have a social media, right? Because men, while we want to coach you and do this, we also don't want to be controlling, right? So that it is a very hard line for a man to walk in order. So the simple fact that you're in a relationship where you've agreed that, hey, would be potentially disrespectful.
Like my choice.
Yeah, it was your choice.
To be honest,
that choice, but that tells me a lot about you. That tells me that you actually care about him.
Well, absolutely. And that's the thing. Like, I still do have TikTok. I can't say I don't have no social media at all. I have TikTok, but if you look at it, it's like Islamic videos, cooking, canning foods, natural medicines. It's to benefit myself. There's occasionally times where like videos of girls start dancing come up, and it kind of like, why are you posting that? But
trying to get the clicks, get the attention.
Yeah, it's trying to get the attention. But for me, it's just like TikTok is like such a cool place to learn new things.
Yeah,
it is really.
If you use it, it's a tool.
Yeah.
If you use it the correct way,
it can be a tool.
Yep.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, they just lose that.
So that was your question for what Can you reread the question?
Yeah,
I got confused.
What's acceptable in the confines of a relationship?
Yeah.
From a woman's point of view, and then
from a man's point of view.
And like I said, that's what's acceptable to me, is just make me feel like I'm protected, give me stability, don't make me question the next hour, the next day. Just don't make me question it.
Okay.
And then just respect.
So what is acceptable from a woman then in a relationship?
The same thing, just a little bit different. So we should make him feel secure. We should make sure that the house is clean, make him feel like he's not living in like a trap house. He's coming home to a home, not just a house, not just a place.
So if I worded it like this, a man, men go out to do battle, right? Void, you probably attest to this. You put in probably as many hours as I do a week in work.
Yeah.
When I come back, I want to come back to a place of peace.
Absolutely.
Right? That's what you're trying to say,
You don't want
right?
to come home to an argument. You don't want to come home to, hey, we have this bill that fell behind and we don't have food, so I can't make you. No, it's your role, if they've been gone, to step up and say, hey, the house is clean. I made you a nice home-cooked meal because you have been gone. And just giving them that stability. Because I might not be able to meet your financial stability, but I can give you stability and peace of mind that you're coming home to a safe place where you have clean clothes, a clean home, food on the table, and it's not just going to McDonald's and hey,
place to decompress.
Come home, relax.
So before you move on, before we get yours,
you don't even need to do mine because I was gonna say the exact same thing.
Interesting. Okay.
Like be his peace, basically.
Be his peace.
Yeah.
Okay.
Don't cause him stress.
Yeah.
So you brought up finances. Okay. So you're saying that a man should be the financial provider. Or in a traditional relationship, men are the financial providers.
In a traditional relationship, yes, because that's how I grew up. The man was the provider, the woman stayed home. In today's day and age, I have a different viewpoint of that. I do believe that if he doesn't make as much and she does, that's okay too. But that's a conversation that they need to have. Like personally, for me, I have a really good career. I could make a lot more money. I would be 100% comfortable saying, hey, you can be a stay-at-home dad or work part-time because I want that financial burden and role. It's not even necessarily a burden. I know that I can provide. I'm good at providing. So if he was comfortable with it, we could do that. And if he wasn't, I could still pursue my stuff. It would just be a conversation to have with each other.
Yeah.
So I don't think any man's actually going to sit there and say, no, a woman cannot make money. No. I don't believe there is a single man on the planet that is actually going to have that role. What I think is men want to be the financial provider. So the feminist movement, let's just talk the feminist movement. The feminist movement is always talking about how women can do the same things as men. And I'm gonna throw it out there like it is. Men and women are not the same. Women cannot do the same things men can do. Men cannot do the same things women can do.
Absolutely.
The biggest one, childbirth.
Right.
Men, so just for everyone out there so you understand how I view the world. Men are basically useless to society, other than the fact that we are the ones that build everything for society. But if society were to move into the next generation, you don't need 100% of men. You only need about 10% of the male population. Okay? And the reasoning why is because we do not propagate the next generation. Women do. Women are much more valuable. This is why, like, think about the Titanic, right? Why were women and children put on the lifeboats first?
Because they're the next generation.
Because they are the ones that actually move society forward. Right. Men are sacrificial in that regard. And a true man would be willing to self-sacrifice for the next generation, for for them, right? So this is why I kind of dislike the feminist movement. There are some things I really do like about the feminist movement, but there's some things I really hate. And one of the biggest things I hate is the simple fact that they have lied to women so much that you can do the same things as a man. You can go and have birth control. I hate birth control. I shouldn't say I hate birth control. I like it. But what it did is it changed society. It basically told women that they can go ahead and have unprotected and free sex as much as they want. And one of the biggest things that men value is purity, right? So the higher the body count that you have, the harder it is for you to maintain a relationship. Okay. From a woman. Men are built different. Men are built to go and plant the seeds as many times as you can. Now, there's one podcast that I love the saying, but I don't necessarily fully agree with it, and it goes back to the provisioning and protection, right? Which is men don't cheat, they exercise options, right? I love the saying. I understand what it's trying to say. However, the biggest thing for me, the only reason I would disagree with that statement is the simple fact that if you truly care about the woman that you're with and you're wanting to provide and protect for her, one of the biggest things that is going to be damaging to her is you cheating on her. Mm-hmm. So if you're trying to protect her, you have to protect her even from your own sexual desires.
Right. Because she will never forget it.
Yes.
No, she got to roll with
it.
it.
She will never forget it.
Exactly. So... Wow, I went way off.
Yeah,
go ahead. Go for it, man.
Oh, man, we're enjoying your voice.
Yeah.
Now I got to remember the question.
Yeah. So she said that she was going to say the same things that she said. So let's go ahead and say what our expectations and rules are, bud.
Hang on. Read it again. Because I got lost in everything going on.
Oh, it's all good, man. I kind of rambled on there for a second.
Yeah. I don't know. Every relationship is different, obviously, but as long as the communication is open, that's what's acceptable. Mm-hmm. So, you might be in a relationship with a woman and that's your guys' thing is you go out and have sex with different people or whatever. Yeah. As long as it's communicated and those are the standards you guys hold each other to.
You're talking ethically, non-monogamous.
Yes, I'm talking ethically. Then that's your guys' business. You know what I mean? Who am I to judge and say anything on your guys' relationship? So, honestly, that's my point of view on that.
Yeah. Okay. So, you kind of got mine, which is... the expectations and the confines of what's acceptable is it's acceptable for you to for a woman to like I've said is be the queen, be the peace. That's really what men want. If you choose to do all these other things and you're not listening to what he's wanting, he's not going to take you serious and he's going to bail on you eventually. And then I also think what's acceptable for a man is to actually be true to your word. One of the biggest things I hate, and you know this, is liars. I cannot stand people lying to me. Right. If you lie to me, I probably know you're lying to me, and I'm probably playing stupid because I like to find out where it goes. Right. I'm kind of a dick like that. Like you lie to me, okay, you can lie to me, but you're losing. You're losing. You don't realize you're losing yet.
He's giggling over there.
What's that?
He's giggling over there.
What did he say?
I found out how to beat you.
Found out how to beat me. Whatever. So yeah, okay. You want to move into final thoughts?
I think that.
I mean, that was it.
That was
We didn't
it.
write
Well,
down
final
thoughts.
final thoughts. No, final thoughts is the end of the segment. Saying,
I
like,
know. I was
like-
just talking shit. We didn't write final thoughts down. I think my final thoughts is the same though, bud. Like,
Oh,
Yeah.
hold on. Start with them.
oh, I thought you were talking about me.
No. We'll start with them. Final thoughts.
Okay.
I actually want to respond to one thing you said before we do that.
Okay.
So you said that if a woman is not listening to a man, it just kind of shows that, like, a woman needs to listen to what a man says always.
No, that's not what. That's
Okay.
That's why I said using that word. It's the easiest way to describe it. But
Right.
so let's say we're in a relationship, and you say, "Hey, I want to do X, Y, and Z," and I say, "Well, I don't really agree with X, Y, and Z are okay, but X, I don't really want you to do that. Like, I think it might be disrespectful to me, or it might be disrespectful to our relationship, whatever it is," and you choose to do that. You've chosen to effectively not listen to what his concerns are.
Right.
And at that point, he's probably going to start writing you off.
Okay. I just want a clarification on that. Okay. I'll let her start with her final thoughts.
I mean, I basically feel like everything I said was kind of all the same because communication is so important. And nowadays it's way important with social media because everybody has secret lives. And, like, you know, social media has really been a hard one for a lot of us to learn. Like, I'm 10 years older than you, and it's, like, way different now. Like, dating, communicating, ghosting. What is that? Like, I hate it. Like, if you're not interested, just say it so I don't make myself look pathetic trying to pursue you if you don't want that, you know, type of attention. Like, and just to say it. Like, ghosting is, like, my
Childish.
number one, like, negative. Yeah, I hate it. Like, so I think just generational differences kind of is what this whole conversation's kind of boiled down to a little bit. Just like...
Well, it's not necessarily generational differences.
Well,
I think there's
like
also
age
different
gap
there,
type stuff.
there is age gap
Like
stuff,
maturity.
but I also think that there's a difference between how women view the world and dating
Right,
and
right.
relationships
Yeah.
than versus how men view it.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. But,
I have such negative viewpoints on men and dating.
yeah, it's so rough out there right now.
It's not even. It is rough, but it's just I feel like a lot of men, like you said, they want what they want. They don't
Yeah.
necessarily want to find someone right away. They just want to have fun.
Well, I think
who are my age.
Yeah.
I think that boils down to kind of what I was saying earlier about how you have to put in men have to work 100 times harder for 1/10 of the woman that they did 40, 50 years ago.
Yeah, but 40, 50 years ago, men respected themselves more, and they weren't just sleeping with everything that.
That's true.
That is true.
But I also boil that back down to birth control, because the advent of in the propagation that women can just go ahead and sleep around. What that really ended up doing was saying that men got to sleep around more too.
Right.
Right. So it did not only just hurt women; it actually hurt the relationships between men and women as well, because now
Right.
men can go and have sex without the worry of producing a child.
Yeah, but that's the thing. You cannot trust females these
Right.
days because
True.
they
They out that
say
bag.
I'm on birth control or I'm on this, and then they're just
Yeah.
Yeah.
not. And then using
Yeah.
men, essentially.
Yeah,
Right. Using
Women
it
are
as a
master
ploy.
manipulators.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They'll get what they want.
Yeah.
100%.
A woman decides she wants a baby, she's going to have a baby.
Right.
One unlucky guy is going to just be stuck if they're not in a relationship.
That's interesting. That's
Yeah.
interesting.
So-
Okay.
Whatever, that's facts, dude. That is all facts right
Men
there.
are dogs, but so are women.
Oh yeah. Nowadays girls are really
I almost feel like
Scandalous.
women are worse.
yeah.
So should we ask this question now? We got brought up. Who cheats more, men or women?
Oh, God.
I think it's
I
equal.
think it's sixes, yeah. I feel like back in the day, like
It was more men.
when I was like in my early 20s, it was more of like a dude thing, a guy thing. You heard of it more with the guys, but now like being older
but
and like watching the younger generation of girls, like
yeah,
how they act online and
they
stuff.
want attention.
Yeah,
And if they're
So-
not getting it from their man, they're going to get it somewhere else.
Yeah,
That's
that's
why
easy.
women cheat now.
yeah.
Interesting.
It's easy to find
Boyd?
somebody.
Who cheats
Okay.
more, men or women?
Women.
My answer, women. And it boils down to this. I said it earlier. It is much easier for women to get sexual access than it is for men.
Right.
The check boxes that men have to fulfill is much higher. So yes, there are some men that cheat a lot, and those are high tier, high status, highly respectable men, because women are all trying to get after them because they think that they're going to get it. However, what most women don't realize is men will, when they're dating, they will be dating multiple women, especially if they're high status enough. What they do then is they start organizing which one is worth more of a value, which one. And then eventually, if it's a good enough man, he's going to drop everyone else and he's just going to have one. If not, he's going to keep the other ones in rotation. But women will go after him thinking that, hey, I'm going to get this. I'm going to get what he, and they don't realize that she's one of 20.
Right.
The rosters these days are unreal.
Yeah. And that's another reason why I think that when I say men should coach in the relationship, listen to what their man is saying, because if their man is coaching, they're showing that they love you. They're showing that this, you want this relationship to work. I want this relationship to work. If you listen to me, we will get here, because I'm telling you what we need to do to get there. But if you sit there and say, I'm going to do cam modeling, or I'm going to entertain other men, or I'm going to go out to the club, or I'm going to go out to dinner and then go check something else out afterwards and be out all night, you're not respecting your man. He's going to start disrespecting you back, because men are mirrors. But yeah, it just boils down to that. So men, I don't think cheat as much as women do. Women, they cheat because they're hypergamy. You've heard that word before, right? Women are hypergamous. Men usually date at their same level or down. Women date at their same level or up. Okay? Women are always looking for something better. And one of the biggest things, I think, the biggest advice that I can give to women is stop looking for the next best thing. Invest the time and the energy into your relationship, because if you do that and you're increasing the status of your man, he's going to in turn increase your status.
Again, social media.
Because
Right.
men
It
are
has
mirrors.
made a facade. It had literally made a picture of this is how it's supposed to be. We're going to have the big house. We're going to have this. We're not going to have any financial struggles. We're going to move into our first place and have everything we need.
Yep. I'm going to get the Lambo. I'm going to get the
unrealistic.
Porsche.
It's
I'm
unrealistic.
going to take the trips. I'm going to go explore the world.
Right.
If you want to go explore the world and you invest, this is the biggest thing. I'm telling you, the biggest piece of advice I can give to women, especially younger women, 18 to like 28, in that range. If you're in a relationship with a man and you invest in him, he is going to turn around and invest in you. So if you want that Lambo, he's going to work his ass off to get you that Lambo. If you want to go and travel, he's going to work his ass off to be able to give it to you. But if you want to go and take a trip without him, you're telling him that he doesn't mean enough.
But
right?
why would you want to take a trip without your man?
Exactly. That's the point.
Yeah.
That's the point. Most women don't realize this, especially younger women. I'm sorry. I'm talking 18 to 28 in that range. And that's just, if you put in the energy into the relationship is going to work out for you. It might not be as fast as you want sometimes.
Right. It's an investment.
It's an investment.
You don't know the turnaround time.
We were talking generations. Void, you can attest to this. The generation that we live in now, it's instant gratification.
Right.
Yeah.
This applies to men and this applies to women.
Both. Yeah.
People no longer want to put in the effort for a long-term success. This is why I have an issue with cam modeling. Is sure, you might make a lot of money, but what you've done is you've excised yourself from any of the long-term. You've created more problems in the long run than you've solved in the short term.
You're gonna have to do damage control.
Yes.
Yeah.
So there's lots to go into it, and I know this goes against a lot of the feminist movement. I hate to say it, but the feminist movement really has lied to women.
Yeah. It's like to everyone.
Like if you're talking to other men, you're doing cam modeling or any of this stuff, those men don't care about you. You're never going to get the long-term protection and provisioning from them that you could from the man that you're in the relationship, right?
Right.
So if you stop trying to do all this other stuff and invested all of your energy into this, you'd be much better off long-term.
Yeah.
So, okay, that was my final thoughts. Your final thoughts there, Boudreaux?
It's hot in here.
It is hot in here.
It is hot. I'm like,
Yeah.
sweating.
No, man, you guys said everything very well. We got everybody's points of view and everybody's own personal opinions on things. I think was very good.
Yeah.
Perfect. Okay, well, we're at an hour, and I told you this was going to take about an hour.
Yeah.
So we going to wrap this up?
Yeah.
Cool. All right, Mr. Producer Guy. Thank you for watching. Till next time.
Peace.